do you have a particular artist that you use and are going to stick with for any future projects, or how did you go about finding the artist to to bring Amigo the Capybara to life?
Yeah, so when you get your picture books acquired, a lot of the time there's sort of a set kind of vibe that the publisher already has for their list. So with that, they actually found the illustrator who's Amy Lee. So she goes by Cookie Chookie. She's another New South Wales resident.
Awesome.
And I loved her art. Actually, it was funny because when I originally thought of Amigo, I was imagining maybe a bit more cartoon. But then when I saw Amy's artwork, I'm like, no, that's perfect. It's so picture book style, like actually hand illustrated, because a lot of the time now, like to be able to produce at such a speed that is expected in publishing for picture books, Procreate is a big part of illustrators' sort of wheelhouse, I guess, now. So it was amazing to know that actually Amy hand drew and hand did every single picture. And that sort of happens, once it's acquired, you can sort of, as an author, say, this is my idea, but really it's up to the publisher. And you kind of just got to trust that they know what the market needs and wants in terms of illustrations. And so, they found Amy, showed me. I was like, oh my God, amazing. Like, yes, she'd already drawn a capybara on her Instagram. And so it was kind of like perfect, which was really great. And so, she went along and did all of them, which is great, because a lot of the time in picture books, like, yes, the writing is important, but the kids are only really interested in the illustrations. Like, they're what they're looking at. They can't read the books. They're going to be flipping the pages based on that look. And also you're buying it based on the illustration style. So it is one of, if not the most important part of a picture book too. So she was given the manuscript, and then I don't even know if I had some. I think I had like a couple of notes on some pages. I was like, this is my idea. Like the end, I said, oh, I'd love it to look like a silent disco, like to be a silent disco, because that's sort of how they compromise in the end. That was like my one thing that I sort of had. And I had some like vibes, but not really an idea of the illustration. So Amy came back and had all of it drawn out, just sketched against the text. And then I was really lucky that I got to see that, because as an author, you don't normally get to see a lot of those stages. Like you might get to do a couple of comments, but I think because I knew a lot of people like from the publisher house, like we knew each other. And I think it was good that they sort of trusted me to be able to give an opinion without overdoing it, because sometimes it can be quite a lot. Like you don't want to change it so far away that, you're causing the illustrator a lot of stress to have to redraw it all. So once the roughs were approved by the publisher, and like I got to maybe put in a couple of notes, and then they do the full colors. And then there's like maybe a couple of rounds there just to tweak faces and make sure it's all kind of in line. And that's sort of how it happens. So for me, really, like I've got one just here. I didn't have a necessarily like my own sort of idea, but I just think the colors, I sort of had a color palette from Pinterest that I found of Fiesta color palettes. And I was like, oh, I'd love it if it kind of matched that. And Amy just kind of matched it. Like, I don't even know if she ended up seeing that, but even something like that, where it's very much like a party.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, lots of fun. And I have a favorite spread, which I'll show you in the middle of the book. And that was something that I sort of could imagine in my mind, but I couldn't really articulate. And then when it was done, I was like, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, which is kind of when it all goes wrong in his performance. And it's limbs and words. And actually, Amy had illustrated the tube, which is really cool.
That's even remnants of like the old comic book stuff with the words,
Yes, a lot of that.